switching to the games that are going on today, let's go to Detroit first. The Tigers and Guardians squaring off here. We've got Detroit underdogs once again, minus 105 on the money line. Cleveland minus 115. Total of 6.5 runs here. This is game 4 of the series. Tanner Bybee gets the ball for Cleveland, 12-8 on the year, 3.47 ERA. And then it's Reese Olson who goes for Detroit, 4-8 with a 3.53 ERA. Jenks, I feel like I've had the worst handle on this series of any of the series, simply because it feels like the numbers don't even need to apply for the Tigers. For the last month of the season, it's been improbable for them to even be here. So when you give me all these numbers and stats and facts and figures, like, I can't even look at them and be like, well, here's the play. Because number one, it's been so hard to fade Detroit. But I will say this. We have seen some low scoring affairs. So maybe you go there with a total set at 6.5. Maybe you look at an under. But is there anything you found in this game that's worth betting on?
Yeah, I'm going to play the under here. I'll play this up to 7 and hit the under. It's minus 140, but you can also play it under 6.5. I like that as well. We haven't seen more than 7 runs in any game in this series. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you go back and look at Detroit throughout the entire postseason, there hasn't been a single game with more than 7 runs. And when you have a game or you have a playoff series that is this closely contested, especially with a Tigers team that doesn't generate a lot of runs anyway, and a Guardians team that has been scoreless for the last 20 innings, this feels like a spot where you just go with the trend, because the game script of what we've seen so far kind of leans into that anyway. So the starting pitchers have been very good. Reese Olson, he actually was very good the last time he pitched in game 1. He filled in for, who was it that came out first? Tyler Holton came out, and then Reese Olson went in and pitched 5 innings of 1-run baseball. So, yeah, I'm going to go under.
I think that's a solid play, especially with these two offenses, and especially because it's an elimination game. This is a best-of-5 series, which, if my math serves me correctly, Detroit with a 2-1 series lead, if they win this game, they're on to the next series. So usually that's how it plays. Elimination game unders, because we see the kitchen sink thrown out from the team that's trying to stave off elimination. Whether it's a starter or a reliever, they're going to have their best arms going today, and they're going to give it their best shot because obviously their season's on the line. So under 7, what did you say the juice was on that?
Minus 140. I'll look for it at a better price, but right now minus 140, which I think is pretty palatable.
Yeah, especially as opposed to playing 6.5, because you need basically a total of 6. That extra run, we've done it it feels like every day on the show. That extra run counts more than you think. It is the decider between a win and a loss in a lot of these situations, especially when runs are clearly at a premium here. All right, next up, let's go to Yankees and Royals. New York, sizable favorites here, minus 155. Kansas City, plus 125, total of 7.5. This is game 4 of the series as well. The Yankees holding a 2-1 series lead. So starting pitcher matchup here, we've got Garrett Cole going for the Yanks, 8-5, 3.41 ERA on the year. Michael Wacha starts for Kansas City, 13-8, 3.35 ERA. So, Jenks, this has been a pretty, I want to say exciting series, but Bob Costas has done his best to, rob it of that. But for two teams that feel like they're miles apart, as far as fan bases and, blue blood history, the Yankees and the Royals has been a good series to watch. So when you look at this price, New York's sizable favorites, minus 155, is there any value on Kansas City? Or do you say New York has the edge here, minus 155 is nothing?
No, I think there's value on the Royals. This is an expensive price on the Yankees because the Royals have made this competitive. I think the way I want to play this is I think I want to go Yankees first 5 money line, which is minus 145, just because I'll take Garrett Cole over Michael Wacha. And Michael Wacha has been really good, as we know. That whole Royals staff has been surprisingly good, the rotation. But this was what we saw in Game 1 where Michael Wacha gave up 3 runs in 4 innings, and then I believe Garrett Cole gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. So those guys were right there. But ultimately, I think we can all agree that Garrett Cole is the better pitcher here. I think overall, He has that experience. He's been even better on the road this season, 5-3, an ERA of 2.49. Yankees have the third best OPS in the postseason against right-handed pitching. Royals have the ninth best OPS against righties. So I will lean Yankees first 5 money line. Again, minus 145.
I was looking for some other ways to play this, and I think because it's so early in the morning, we don't have a ton of options. Because here's the trend that I've been noticing: the Yankees have been drawing all kinds of walks. In 2 games of this series so far, the Royal staff has had at least 8 walks. And I know not all of that is attributed to the starting pitcher, but this is a trend we've seen all season long. Like, some of the stats have been skewed by the fact that a lot of people will walk Aaron Judge simply because he is a very dangerous hitter. But still, there are a bunch of patient hitters on this staff, and we've seen this Royals staff really struggle to throw strikes in some of these. I don't know if it's the nerves, I don't know what it is, but we don't have walks listed over at BetMGM just yet for the Royals starter here. I was thinking about this one, strikeouts for Garrett Cole. For some of these props in the postseason, they seem really low, but a lot of it is because the leash is a lot shorter in the postseason. It feels to me like they have some pretty big weaknesses in their pitching staff. Like, this next game, the Padres are underdogs, plus 120. I understand it's in LA, but do you feel like this series is a little closer than maybe this line suggests?
I have the Padres winning the World Series right now, and I've been loudly screaming Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers from Jump Street. The Padres do have a chemical mixture that can beat the Dodgers. It's simply this: their bullpen, their starting staff is flat out better than the Dodgers. There's nothing else we can say about it. But it's back and forth, back and forth. And the other thing I want to really reiterate here is that this is a true hated rivalry. The Padres hate the Dodgers. I don't think this isn't a joke. This isn't like some sort of thing like, well, we're doing it for our fans. They hate the Dodgers. There is a little brother syndrome in San Diego that's existed for 50 years. Trust me, I was a part of it. Every one of those fans have it. Every one of those players feels it. They want to destroy the Dodgers in the worst way possible. In fact, I'd even say that they wanted to lose that game yesterday so they could beat the Dodgers in LA. I have the Padres winning this series, and you're right, the Dodgers got glaring holes on the pitching side. If their starting pitching on this next matchup can actually carry them throughout the thing, I think the Dodgers are going to the World Series. If their starter gets knocked out in the first 3 innings and it becomes a Dodger bullpen game, I don't think lightning strikes twice. I don't think Dave Roberts has enough in his magical box there to have enough bullpen arms to sustain another bullpen victory against the San Diego Padres.